All right, greetings everybody. Welcome back to the roads to nowhere. So my first couple videos I've been focusing primarily on Unit 1 of Algonquin Hills, which sits between Cary Road and Route 31. Today I'm on Unit 2. So what you guys can see behind me, if you can look through behind my truck right there, there's actual pavement. That is the village of Algonquin. This is Mohawk Trail, I think. And the pavement ends and it turns into gravel, which then goes up this hill. As you guys can imagine, gravel drainage hill doesn't sound very good, and that's because it's not. So one of the most important things for us to remember in this whole thing is that for many, many years, the township used their MFT funds with their labor and their equipment, which is 100% legal and they are entitled to do. The reason they did that is because MFT funds aren't very much, right? Maybe it's 10 grand. How much work can you get done for 10 grand when you hire your own contractor? Not much. But when you use your own equipment that you have and you're charging, let's just say between $50 and $100 per hour for that equipment, you can get a lot more done. So our tax money can go further when they use their own equipment. If they make us go out and hire contractors, there's not enough money to get anything done. And that's what happened to Mohawk here years ago when Daniela refused to use her own equipment. What you guys can see here behind me is massive, massive washouts going down that way, giant rut right here going this way all the way up this hill. Now I'm able to get up and down this in my truck. I have a four-wheel drive truck. During the wintertime when it snows and there's snow on the ground, I have personally pulled vehicles out that have been stuck trying to get up and down this hill. It is absolutely treacherous. Honestly, I don't really know how the people who live here get in and out of their homes when there's snow and ice on the ground. The condition of this road is by far the worst of all the roads that we have. There's no way you're getting a fire truck or an ambulance or some, a two-wheel drive ambulance is not getting up this freaking road when there is snow and ice on it. It can probably barely get up this road when it's dry like this. So, one of the things we're asking for Units 2 and Units 3 is simply to just go back to the way that it was done prior to Daniela being here. Use the MFT funds that they're allotted and come in here with the graders and do your best to fix the road. We understand it's not going to be perfect. We want it to be traversable. We want it to be safe. We got kids that are riding their bikes and other, equipment up and down this thing. Here you can see we've got some crushed asphalt that the township dropped off, and the neighbors periodically grab some of it and just throw it out here. But as you can imagine, it does not last very long and it gets washed out. So this is Mohawk. This is the worst of the bunch. What I want to talk about is that in addition to the MFT funds, in 2015, Bruce Rauner, when he was governor prior to Pritzker, passed a law that said townships are able to use the money out of their general road and bridge funds to maintain non-dedicated roads. This is a non-dedicated road. This is a perfect example of it, right? So what Rauner did was he essentially said, there's not a lot of money in MFT. There's 10, 15 grand, let's just say. That doesn't go very far. And he understands costs are increasing. It's expensive to maintain these roads. So he passed a law that said you are able to use money out of your road and bridge fund as long as it's not any more than how much you have in MFT. So if you have 10,000 in MFT, you can use 10,000 out of your general road and bridge fund. That general road and bridge fund is what's funded by our property taxes. Regardless of where you live, your property taxes go into that fund to maintain the roads. The township road commissioner is 100% authorized to use that money to match the MFT money to come repair roads like this. That is why that law was made in 2015. So not only does Daniela have money in the MFT funds to use, she has potential money in the road and bridge fund, which the township board would absolutely authorize her to spend if they had to drive up and down this road every day to access their home or realize the safety issues that it causes. So they're not going to vote against it. The village of Algonquin, I've mentioned to you guys, has the largest budget of any township. And I actually pulled the numbers this weekend because I wanted to look at it. The township budget for Algonquin Road Township, whatever you want to call it, the road department, is $3.2 million a year. That is their budget. They have 55 miles of roads. We're going to look at Nunda and Grafton, which are the two townships that abut to us. Nunda's budget is $3.6 million to our $3.2, but they have 95 miles of roads. They have not quite double the amount of roads that we have. Grafton has a $1.8 million budget. They take care of 68 roads, which is actually more than us. So if you look at total budget divided by number of miles of roads, let's see, Grafton operates on a budget of about $25,000 per mile of road that they maintain. Nunda operates at $38,000. Algonquin Township operates at $59,000 per mile. So when you look at the amount of money that Algonquin Township has to potentially come fix things like this, compared to what Nunda and Grafton have, we got more money, we got less roads, and we have worse maintenance. Now, this wouldn't have been so bad if she would have just kept maintaining these roads years ago like her predecessors. But because she decided over the last 5 years to do absolutely nothing on these roads, they've fallen into complete disrepair, and they're going to take a lot more work to get them back into the shape that they need to be in. That's where the township board comes in, because they can absolutely authorize the expenditure of additional funds to help fix these roads right here. So that is your lesson on MFT funds and being able to use money from the general road and bridge fund to repair non-dedicated roads. So just remember that, guys. $59,000 per mile is the budget for our township. The next closest one is $38,000. So we get an additional $21,000 per mile of roads. We better have the best damn roads in McHenry County. They better be so good, we should never see a pothole. We should never have a slippery road or an icy road. We should literally have the best roads in all of McHenry County. Clearly, Mohawk Trail is not one of them. So thanks you guys for watching. I'll keep you updated. Still trying to get that meeting with the township attorney who appears to be a little cagey. Also, make sure you guys set aside some time on April 8th. That is the next township meeting, and is in fact when they're going to be voting on the budget. So if you guys want to go talk about the budget and how much money they have that they could be spending to work on our roads, join me April 8th at the Algonquin Township budget meeting. It's going to be a good time. Thanks, everybody.